Hello, everyone. Oh, it was so awesome coming in, and I'm already seeing all these comments. Rachel was first right out of Greensboro, like right there. I love seeing it. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? And I see a lot on StreamYard. So once again, it is not streaming live inside of Facebook. I have no idea what's going on. I thought for sure it was because my main office was unpublished their page again, straight out of, constantly unpublishing pages that use the word Remax, like we're trying to be Remax. So when I get a page that goes unpublished, Facebook puts me in timeout as the admin, the one that's scheduling all the posts. So it wouldn't let me. One of those was not being able to stream live, not being able to post in my groups, not be able to manage any other pages. That makes my life very eventful. But I thought that's for sure why Facebook was not streaming live, because my gosh, I did that every week for our live cast for over 3 years, zero issues, and now nonstop issues with Facebook. So it has to do with me. And maybe it's because I scheduled this while I was still in timeout. Everything shows as a green light on StreamYard's end, and then it's not until I hit that go live button that it does not actually stream into the group. So I'm constantly posting the other groups. I have it via StreamYard. I have it on YouTube Live. And of course, I download it and upload it into the group until we can figure out what's going on. Very annoying and frustrating, because I know when we do our marketing classes with Bree, she can connect for me and we don't have any problems going live. So still trying to figure that out. But today I thought was a perfect class with the holidays coming up to let's dive in and figure out, how do we send mass emails? How can we set up templates? Which one do I need to use, and all of that fun stuff. And that is what we're going to cover today. And of course, we will go over Ask Me Anything. That's what these are about. I'm going to cover a hot topic, show you how I do what I do. Ask me anything, whether it's regarding our topic or it can be anything KV Core related. As you all know, my head is a scary place to be, and I am here to help you guys through this transition so that we can learn and figure out what tools KV Core is offering that we can utilize to help us in our business. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen so we can go ahead and get started. One thing that I have noticed is a lot of, yes, we can go right into marketing. Click on the full marketing and you're going to see all the cool marketing tools. We have, the smart campaigns, which are going to have all of the KV Core, anything that we may clone, make our own, anything like that will be in our smart campaigns. But you also can schedule a mass email. That is a one and done. So if it is not something that you may use again at a later time, scheduling a mass email may be perfect. I have been finding out that I may want to do newsletters. And that way I can just go in to the smart campaigns and set up a template, which then I can either copy or I can edit. So that way I can use it over and over again. And I don't have to go into the mass email and recreate from ground zero. That has been my biggest learning lesson as I've been trying to figure out how to do on a brokerage level. It's awesome because I can set up all these templates, these newsletters on a broker level, and all of my agents have access to them in their campaigns. So if you're a broker, manager, admin, make sure you can add those. And I will tell you, as we build today, ChatGPT can be your best friend when you are not a good writer. So my owner's an amazing writer. I am a visual person. I am a horrible writer. Ask any of my English teachers. I write like I speak, which apparently is very incorrect. So ChatGPT gives me a great foundation for anything that I'm trying to write about. And no, you can use that for any interior pages, buyers, sellers, anything like that. You can use that. So we are going to go in. I'm going to go straight into smart campaigns because I want you to see everything that we have. I'm in an agent's account, but you can see you have all the campaigns. If you have nothing in here, You can go into KV Core library. That is where all of KV Core smart campaigns are. So I've noticed sometimes when we launch, everything's in here. Sometimes on a company level, we have to go in on a company level to add them all for the agents. Companies can toggle which ones they want to be by default on, but agents have full control to edit, add, do whatever you want within here. And you can clone them, you can check them out for sure. Do that. These are all of the different campaigns. I do believe KV Core is, it's a lead magnet machine, and their CRM is truly built on nurturing these leads, not necessarily for newsletters and holidays and stuff like that. So that's where they do have some may be a couple years old. You can certainly edit those. They don't have all of them. They do have a newsletter template. But I like to start from scratch. It's just easier for me to create exactly as I want. But make sure if you do not have anything under the My Campaigns, all you need to do is go straight over to the KV Core library, and you're going to hit Add to Library. And then you can go in there and toggle the ones you want on or off. I personally love the active. I love the new are my favorite, the new leads. It is the most aggressive, but it is also the one that is going to constantly be texting and emailing, probing, asking questions, trying to get that lead to engage with you. And then they're going to change their status, and it will be active versus new. And it's a completely different campaign, not as aggressive. The system's going to be telling you to do more things than it may be doing itself. More of making sure their alerts are set up correctly. Is there anything that the agent can do to modify those? Lots of those great things. So I personally would always turn on that new campaign unless you are really great at cultivating and nurturing leads. Most of us are not. So I want to know that my assistant is doing it all for me without me having to think about it. It's like magic. That's what I would be doing, because leads are not like they were 10 years ago. And I want to focus on other prospecting, income producing activities, right? Okay, so now we just did a rundown of your campaigns, making sure they're all inside of your dashboard. Then we can come over to templates. This is whether it's an email, a text, a call, a task, a webhook. Not 100% sure what a webhook is, but I usually use the email or text the most. For sure, emails. And this could be a gazillion different things. So I know today I'm going to show you a holiday email as well as like a newsletter so that we can set it up as a template. This means next October, or maybe next month, maybe I want to make, just keep one template that I'll edit. But this way, it's going to allow me to come back and reuse it again at another time. This saves me a lot of time and energy, because I pretty much have the fundamentals of what I want to send every month, and I can drag and drop different elements. So there's different blogs or different articles or different listings or anything like that. It's super easy to modify versus having to start from scratch. As you go through, there's a lot of different templates, and you can do a search. So for example, if I were to come over and let's do newsletter, because I think we have a couple of them. So I have monthly newsletter. This was October. And the office has one too. So the office has one that I can clone, but I'm going to show you how we can use these templates to send right now or schedule out. I'm going to go ahead and go add an email template. We're starting from scratch. So I'm going to start an email template. I need the template name. This is more for your reference. Nobody else sees this. So I'm going to put October newsletter. And we have to think of something fun. And again, I used ChatGPT. Where'd it go? So I pre-did ChatGPT, and I just said, write a fun email for October for a real estate professional. Now, as with anything, if you are using ChatGPT, you want to make sure you kind of read over the content, because like Chrissy, this account, she is in Florida. So leaves don't really change. Palm fronds may get darker, maybe not as green. But things are a little different. But I'm using this as an example. But I always want to say, sometimes I look at some of these listing descriptions and I'm like, okay, way overboard on ChatGPT there. And I'm sure a lot of you that read those listing descriptions completely feel the same way. You get it. You've seen all of that craziness. Walk into this, and it's like, the description's like ridiculously long. Let's tone it down just a tad, but it is still a great resource for if you're not a great writer like me and I need that visual, we're good to go. So I can say, I'm going to go, I don't know if emojis, so this is going to be a test. I don't think emojis will go into there. Oh my gosh, they did. Woo. So now I have my subject. Thank you, ChatGPT. Now you can write right inside of here. There's not a whole lot you can do. You can try using the table, not fun at all. Go into the advanced editor. It's going to be so much easier. It's going to be a lot like BombBomb, like MailChimp, Constant Contact, where you have drag and drop for the element you actually want to use. So I get to drop my contents. Here are all of the different content blocks I have to choose from. So I have like my image, I can add buttons, a divider, my social, dynamic content, which is cool. HTML, if you have HTML code that you want to try to add in there, maybe little widget kind of things. I can add a video. So if I have a YouTube or Vimeo, I just put in the link. Now I have video in my email without paying for Core Social. All I need is the link. Different icons and text. For the most part, I use image and text the most. I love my buttons, and I do use the divider depending on what I do. So all we do, I'm going to use an image because I do want to put in a header. So I'm going to add that. I will say my big trick for making it easy, I have learned this the hard way. When I go into browse, especially if you are on a broker or team level, you're going to have all these weird folders, not sure what to do. Sometimes it lets you add to some folders it doesn't. And then if I X out the incorrect way, which seems to be the only way I X out, I go back to the marketing tab and anything I've done does not save. So my trick, I have 2 monitors. It's a lot easier, is if you split your monitors so you can drag and drop those images. So I have a folder of goodies. I've already done. I do everything in Canva. So I have my stuff. I can drag and drop. That is my trick. It's so much easier than trying to click browse and then you'll have different folders and it's just a nightmare kind of mess, kind of weird. So now I have a header. This is what I want for the header. Now I have to figure out, okay, well, what's next? So we're in Halloween time. So I'm going to use another box here. And what can we add? Where's my little graphic? So let's do Hello October. So I have a Hello October. And then we kind of have, let's go add some text. So literally just drag and drop the text right there. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to copy this copy this content. I will say, let's try this different ways. I usually, when I am pasting from ChatGPT, it will give it that gray background. And I don't want that gray background. So I'm just going to paste as plain text. That way it won't have that gray background. I may have to bold some stuff if I want to. I can even select all if it's, not big enough, or if I like a different font. I personally like that font. It's clean. I like that. So you can definitely do different things, all of this. So I've got, kind of content in there that we've done. Now what if you want to add buttons? Maybe I like to add buttons, and maybe 3 buttons going across, maybe something that goes to my website, my blog, events, anything like that you may have. If I just added 1 button, it's right there. What if I wanted 3 buttons? I'm going to come over to this rows. And this is going to, whether you're using text, graphics, anything like that, you can drag and drop. So maybe I don't want that to be so big. I could drag this over here if it'll let me. Why is nothing? Where's it going? Oh, it went way up there. I don't want it up there. So I'm going to go ahead and X that out. Hello. I want to X that out. Where's my X? There we go. Boom. I don't want that. It would be nice if this could go full screen, but It's not. All right, so I can come over here. I want my rows again. I can add whatever you want. So it's not wanting me to add it underneath. I added the button. So let's come over here. Yeah, that's weird. It's not letting me drag it where I want it to. Usually it's boom, boom, boom. I can. So you see that just moved that there. I don't want that there. And there's no go back. But so that's kind of weird. It's not letting me add my little layout. Normally I have no problems doing that. So that's okay. I don't need this. I can X just the one. You'll see it's just going to X that out. But I'm going to come up here. I don't want this up here. So I'm going to delete that right there. Boom. All right, let's go back over. I'm going to add my graphic. Add my graphic, my header back up there. Drag and drop. Boom. So let me see if I can add an image. I do want to show you the dynamic content. So let's add that right there. The dynamic content, I don't use it nearly as much as I possibly could, but it's definitely worth showing. So I can add different buttons. I can add in different listings. I can add in a row, my photo, my office logo, similar properties, main listing image. So I could do that, and it's going to ask me for the MLS ID of the one that I'm actually showing. So if I were to go to her website, let me pull that up. I can find a listing ID for her listing. Let's see if we can't find that real quick. All right, I'll pull this over so you can see. And we got the MLS. So I can pull in MLS ID. And there we go. So then you're going to see what, and I don't even see it unless I preview the main listing image, tropical, the collage row, whatever it may be. I personally just kind of do a screenshot and put in a button to link to the property just because I like the way that looks. But I can go over here, let's see if we can add a row now. I do the 3 for my buttons. There we go. So I have a row of 3. I could add graphics. I could add text. I could add anything right inside of those little rows there. I personally like to add buttons. So I'm just going to drag and drop to put buttons in those 3 boxes. Now I can click on this and it's going to, what do I want it to say and what URL. I can also go through and change, the colors. I can have the pinwheel, or if I'm in Canva, I can just put in, the color, anything like that. So you can change the color this way. Usually that is what I would do, but you can change all sorts of great information. You can't break anything. If you go into templates, start using this advanced editor, play with it. The more you play with this, the better you're going to understand how you can do different things within here. So let me come back up and open up web page, and you can see you have different, or you can have, send me a text, call me, email me. So there's different call to actions for those different buttons. Now I'm going to, let's see, view listings and maybe visit my blogs and buyer's guide, or yeah, let's just do that. Oh, that ended up. So it's, view listing. Let's see. So you want to keep that. I don't like how it did that. So I could change whatever. And then of course you come here. Where is that going? So if I'm having it go to a specific listing or just my homepage, I'm just going to copy the URL and put it right inside of there. Blogs, here's my blog page. So I can just, copy that link and put it right in here. Same thing, buyers or whatever else I may want to be able to add, put it right there, change that URL. What you do want to do, once you're done, you have the placements in here. So maybe I want to add another graphic. So I'm going to go back to my folder. Let's see, I have pumpkin facts. So I'll put that in there. And yes, this is being recorded as always. I will upload into the group, but it is on YouTube, but I put all the recordings are always in the group. They should be live streamed, but Facebook is, mad at me or whatever the case may be. So it's not live streaming to Facebook groups, but for sure, all the recordings will always, they're in, when you're in the Tech and Tools group, we put them in the guides. So whichever group you're watching them in, there will be a guides up on the top, just like you can get files and photos. If you click on the guide, we have all of our recordings right in there so that it's easily accessible to rewatch and all of that good stuff. So make sure, add in different things. I personally like to have all my graphics pre-done so that I can go in and be able to add everything at one shot. So now we have this template. Good, like it, we're good. And just know if it is a template, you'll probably want to change that MLS ID after the fact, or, next month or something like that. So I set up my template. I'm going to go ahead and add my template. So now it's in there, but what if I want to send it? It's like, well, how do I send it from there? So what we did is we added a template. Now I come back over to marketing. This is where I can send anything that I've pre-created at any time. So I'm going to go ahead and get started to send a mass email. You'll be able to see all the different emails that she does send. So I'm going to go up here, schedule email. For me, the easiest way to send to everybody is just going to status. So I don't have to pick out hashtags or save filters or anything like that. I'm sure I could do a save filter and just have everyone and then just choose that, but I haven't done that. I'm still finding the easy workaround. But for me, there's like 7 statuses. I'm going to choose everyone. Of course, you can see here is where you can schedule that. So you can pre-do these and then schedule out an entire year of holiday campaigns if you wanted to. Now, how do I find the email I just did? That's easy. You come right over here to templates. So here's October newsletter. That's the one I just did. You'll see it's pulling in the subject. It's pulling in the MLS ID, but I can still edit this after the fact. So brokers, if you're doing this on the broker level, agents can still edit whatever you do. At least it's a good starting point if you're coming up with some information. If I come up here to, let me see what I can, let's see, monthly. Is anything going to come out? Oh, nothing is pulling up. Let's see, newsletter. I know there's a lot more than just one. I'm going to get back out and get back in real quick because that is weird. Templates. I'm not sure why there's only showing one. There's a ton of templates because we have all of our newsletters actually in here. That is so bizarre. But we're live, so that's when everything happens, right? So at least you know it's not you, because we have a ton of newsletters in there because we do one every month, and we have all the holidays in there. So I'm not sure what's going on with there, but when in doubt, refresh. Let's see what's going on here. I'm in the right account. There we are. I'm like, I know that. Look at all these templates, because KV Core has a ton of templates in there for you too. So if I were to just type in holiday, you're going to see ones that KV Core has in there. So they do have like New Year, Labor Day for Canada. They have holidays, different one, Family Days, Halloween's, Father's Day. Well, I think those are ours. But just so you know, there are some in. Oh, Kate, I bet you that is correct, because I've never done the MLS. I always screenshot my listing. I bet you that's what it is. Good catch. See, we all learn something new every day, because I was like, I don't know why nothing's pulling up, but I can do that. Here I have stuff for the office. Maybe not. So I could do, let's see, Halloween is coming up. Let's just search for Halloween. So here I have holiday Halloween. No tricks, just treats in the real estate market. So this is one that we do on the office level. So it's all there. Just know at the very bottom, any of these templates, even ones that you create, you're always going to want to include your agent signature. That is done in your settings. You can copy and paste whatever signature you have. I didn't have any problems. I use Wise Stamp. It still has my movements and all the fun stuff in my signature. Make sure you include your agent signature with everything, unless you have all of your actually putting your signature inside of these templates, because then it will link if you have your social or anything like that. I always just, especially on the office level, make sure you include your agent signature with any of these. So there's one example. I will show you her actual newsletter. Let's see, monthly. Oh, that's the office. So this is one that we set up for my office. So all the agents have this to go ahead and send out to. So we put in local information. So of course, Brevard County, huge with launches. So we want to, that's the app. We have Boo at the Zoo, which was always one of my favorites. The information there. We have lots of great content pre-done, but agents, as you can see, can add, can edit any aspect of this. But it's nice on a broker level to have something pre-done, or as an agent, kind of pre-doing some of these so that it's super easy to drag and drop. So for us, always having local content, local events, I find that when I put local information into like a newsletter, people start to look forward to it every month because they know we're going to have valuable information, local content, local information, local housing information. That's kind of big. And then, of course, we'll add in blogs and stuff like that, home maintenance, do it yourself, real estate tips, anything like that. But agents can completely edit any of that part. So let me go back up here. Let me see what else we have. Let's see, monthly. There we go. So this is the one that we actually already sent. Here are buttons. So you see how I have the different buttons. So I could have minimized my font and stuff like that. So that, because I was like, oh, I put buyer's guide and it went to 2 rows, which I know I have it and it didn't. So it's just a matter of being able to change the font size and stuff like that. So I do have, for me, it's all roads lead back to my website. So I've got landing pages set up, buyer's guide, seller's guide, relocation guide, search. So go ahead and start searching. So it's just multiple avenues to try to drive traffic back to the website. Here's just a little article we did with some fall festival, fall stuff that's going on locally. Here is, it was a new listing. So here's where I go to the website. So it has like that just listed, and I just do a screenshot of what it looks like. But I do use in your playbook. I like, anytime I'm promoting a listing, I use the playbook links. And that is when you go over to playbooks, you promote a listing, you can find your listings here, start promoting. I grab the links that are in here, right here, leverage social media, digital promotion, squeeze page or a landing page. Remember, the landing pages in KV Core are basically a gateway to information. And I know we kind of just went over that within Canva and a couple weeks or months ago, I guess. I like to use the squeeze page because I want people to see my listing. It's just when they navigate away from it, a lead is going to be, forced registration. But I do like using these links when promoting my listings, because if I were to go to another listing, I can see the results of that. And that is going to only help me. People are going to be labeled with this listing as they come in. So it makes it for easier follow-up to be able to, maybe I get a price reduction or I'm doing an open house. I'm able to see every lead that came in from one of my listings. And now I can mass email that I'm having an open house, or, we just had a price reduction on that property because they actually clicked on it and I know that. So for me, I like to use the playbooks for promoting, but I know that's a side, but when you're promoting and all that kind of fun stuff, you should do that. So here's just what we have set up, just, blogs, information. And then of course I have more buttons that we've done. So this is, let's say I only have office level to create. No. You have it on. It's when you're like broker manager, you have to toggle back and forth. So you can do it on our brokerage level, but you have the toggle where I don't on mine on who's going to be sending it. See right here, it says scope. If I was a broker, I would have all of my company and myself or my team or anything like that. So you just have right here is your drop down as far as who's going to be sending it. And everything is done on an agent level. I cannot send these on a company level, but I can set them up on my company level and my agents have access to them. So hopefully that helps with that. So some other ideas. All right. So let's see. Oh, good. The new group for brokers. Yes. BOMA. Broker, owner, manager, admins, trainer group, fun stuff. All right. So I'm going to go through questions. We just did a lot. And I will say one extra thing is if you were to set up a template email, and one thing that we've been playing with, it's kind of cool. So I can come over here to my smart campaigns. I could go to templates, add an email template. You can actually do a video, an introduction video, like, hey, thanks for visiting my website. Feel free to browse, but my information's below. If you have any information about my area or anything like that, I'm here to help you. You have that because you did the video, you put it on YouTube, you're going to put the video link right in there. And now you can have, welcome to my website. Now, because you have this set up as a template, you can actually go into the campaign part and trigger it. As a new lead enters the system, 5 minutes later, they're going to get this email with your actual welcome introduction video. So that's a little more advanced, but I want to get your wheels spinning on the awesome things that we can be doing. All right. I am wondering what questions. Oh, I can forward that to you, Becca, for sure. Because I put myself on make sure you're also in your system so that you get a copy of things. I don't always get a copy. I just added, and I always tell agents as you're learning the system to always add yourself as a lead. Don't use your Remax email. Don't use the email that the Remax email is being forwarded to. Use a completely separate email. And if you happen to have maybe a Google Voice number or something like that, to set that up. So I happen to have 2 phone numbers because now you can have these virtual SIM cards. So I have 2 numbers. I have the number I've had since I've had a cell phone that I cannot get rid of. But I also have an 865 number now that I live in Tennessee. Both of them are in here. So I was able to set myself up as a fake lead. I wanted to be able to see what was going to be text to the clients as a new lead because that is the most aggressive where it asks questions and stuff. So if you can, and you could use Google Voice if you have that, set yourself up and make sure that you're receiving any of your newsletters and stuff like that. And I am still looking for questions. Anna, I should just send you the link because you could have come join me in here. I think we all know how much I hate it being the Heather Show. Let's see. And help me with any of these questions. Let's see. Any questions? Oh, you're having lunch. I miss having you on here. I'm going to just start sending you the link so you can just pop in. And we all know Kristen likes to eat popcorn and be in the show. So you would have been just fine. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Yes. Most of my content is coming from my blog because to me, my website is kind of like all roads lead back to my website. So I put information in my blog, which then goes to social and my newsletter. So here is the blog like here. So I add that video inside of her newsletter. We'll add the graphic inside the newsletter, but we have a lot of different blogs. One thing I noticed is KV Core only shows the 4 most recent blogs and then they kind of disappear into who knows what world. So my workaround for that, because we blog weekly, is I created a blog category page. So now I can always reference future blogs with old blogs. So this to me is the most important, are more information, local information, events, the calendar, school calendar. I'm telling you, it is, no matter what website, it is always my number 1 blog every single year without a doubt. And quite honestly, it's super easy. You get the PDFs from the school. I just kind of convert it so I can paste it, make a cute graphic, add some links, information, and we're good to go. So I like the school calendar. I mean, cute little graphic, literally all of this information's there. And then I have a link for the calendar for on the district website, but also just we had the, tax-free and all that. So try to put that kind of stuff on there as well when it was there. So definitely, think about how you can add blogs. It gives me content for social. I want to drive traffic back to the website, right? That just helps overall. So many people get a website and then nobody goes there. I don't get any leads from it. But what are you doing to drive traffic to your own website? All of the, on a broker and an agent level, we're competing with these ginormous companies with ginormous ad spend that we'll never be able to beat when it comes to, SEO, search engine optimization, finding us on Google. But by putting on your blogs local content and local information that not everybody, the Zillows of the world don't have local content, or the best things to do on Father's Day around the area. This is all content that you can be adding to your website that is going to really help you because it's more hyper local to you. It gives people valuable information that now you can repurpose, share to social, add to your newsletters, all of that good stuff. And it's so for me, it's like the websites, I don't want it to be just for searching. It's for information. It's giving me content for, social media, all of that good stuff. Let's see. Would I recommend using Canva versus Canva newsletter since the KV4 one? I don't use Canva newsletter. I build every element of my newsletters inside of Canva, all the graphics, but I don't send anything through Canva because I have my mailing list, all of the leads. I don't want to have to export them every month, put them somewhere else. I definitely wish that there was more stats. Like I'm used to MailChimp, Constant Contact. I love BombBomb because there I get my little push notifications when people are opening. So I miss that part of the other third-party programs, but at the same point, it's all about making things easier for us. And for me, being able to just create a template inside of here to be able to use, to be able to mass send to everybody that's in my system like that. I mean, it's super hard to, unless you're really into analytics and looking at who's viewing what, when, and what links people are clicking on. To me, it's all about what is the best use of my time, and to be able to build everything out inside of KV Core, mass send out to all of my contacts without me having to export every month and put them somewhere else. There's just something to be said about the time, that my time could be better used as this. I want people to get stuff. This is the easiest way for me to be able to get that. And I just haven't had good luck with Canva in general, like embedding it or any aspect like that, because I don't believe it syncs with Canva like MailChimp does, or Constant Contact. All these third parties like link directly with Canva. So I could do a complete piece in there. But when it comes to text, I have noticed when I get stuff, I can tell it's being done in Canva. A lot of times the text, it's like pixelated or blurry, and my eyes are only getting worse with age. So I like, personally, in any platform, I build everything out. I want my text to be used in a text box. I'll use the graphics to add the beautification part of it, all of that. Yes. Let's see. No. You can have it on. I don't know. Jill, my CMA a day star right there. You do not need it to be, I don't think you can have it private, but make it unlisted. So a lot of our videos, especially those introduction ones, which we've been doing a lot with the agents in your office, so you should meet with me. But that's what we do, is we upload it onto YouTube and we make it unlisted. So it's not like public. Private would be very specific on who, and most of the time you can't send that email out. Unlisted means only someone that has that link will be able to view it. Private's definitely more locked down, and I believe you'll get a little notification error, like you can't make it private, make it unlisted or something. So definitely on those type of videos, we'll add them to YouTube, but we just make them unlisted. And also we want to make sure, if you can, to kind of make the thumbnail kind of appealing, or you could make it absolutely crazy. Some of my favorite thumbnails on videos, are crazy faces that I do. And I felt that was my way to ease into doing video, was to be kind of crazy and silly. And then the agents would click on the video like, what is she doing now? So depends on what you want. But I definitely say, always look at the thumbnail when you're putting something on YouTube or Vimeo, because you can upload your own or choose from a couple different areas in your actual video. But I see some thumbnails of great videos and the thumbnails like absolutely horrible, but it's super easy inside of YouTube to edit that. All right. What else? What other questions do you guys have? I feel we went over a lot. But for me, on a brokerage level, doing the campaign, setting them up as a template, and then you could do it so every month. At first I did it every month, but then I had to wait until the very end to go and edit, so the agents would have the most recent one. I recently saw another brokerage where they already kind of have the layout for each month pre-done, and then we can just go in there and edit that one. And I think I like that idea for sure when it comes to your holidays and stuff like that. So I'm going to see if I can, because we'll be able to see. I think I have, nope. So they were one of my first ones. So I'm just going to put in holiday, but you can see I have Veterans, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, New Year, Mother's Day, Martin Luther King, Labor Day, 4th of July, just holiday greetings. There's some for Canada already in there, but then you get into all the KV Core ones. So there's lots of different things that, are already done. I like to set up my own. Let's see, where's my Halloween? I don't think I showed, because I had a different one. Oh, we have Thanksgiving coming up too. Lots of them. And next week is marketing for the holidays. So that is great for all of these different kind of campaign ideas. Bree and I will be going over that, just kind of marketing for the holidays, and lots of good stuff coming up for that. See, when I'm setting up my graphics, usually I am using the Facebook cover size for everything, because that's the other one that I was showing you in there. Quite honestly, these are just graphics we've already had. So these were Instagram just for posting for this month. This is a Facebook cover that we use that's on her Facebook page. So I use that more on the header size. Of course, you can edit, trim in, whatever you want. And most of these others, this is a blog template. So that's probably 800 by 600. But I'm just using graphics that I've already pre-done, whether it be for social media. Oh, you guys can't even see the graphics I'm showing you. Oh, because I have my window. Okay. So you can't even see, but all of this, any graphics that I'm using, I've already pre-done, whether I'm just using what I use for my blog, whether I'm using a Facebook cover for the header, or as I'm adding in different elements for just graphics, they're probably social posts I already have pre-done, and that's how I'm using those. So I don't know that there's necessarily a size. The Instagram ones, I do feel they take up a ton of space, but it's time management. Like, is it that important to recreate the wheel, or just use the graphics I already have done so that I can mass send everybody content? And that's kind of where I'm at right there. Let's see. Can we mass email contacts without them having to be categorized? In here, you could do a save search. What you're looking at is more of just kind of, well, I am sending a mass email. So I could, if somebody has a hashtag, but I think you're looking more of just one person, maybe. Is that what you're looking at? Just sent mass emailing contacts without them being categorized. Yeah, I don't categorize them. I just put them under status so I can get to everybody. So you could just go, if anybody's in your system that's like a past client or something like that, you don't have to send them to any of these new people. Or if you're importing people into your database and you are hashtagging them, you can use the different hashtags. You have to know what the hashtag is to start to, send them through. Or if they have a saved criteria. So this one you can see when you're in your dashboard and you have different filters. So this is where I could do this. So I can just mass email everybody right here. And I come down here. I want to save filters, everyone. And I don't need to pin it to the top because it doesn't matter. But I just figured that out. So I knew there'd be an easier way. So now when I'm in here, and if I were to refresh this, I would have everyone on here because it's a saved search and I can save it to everyone. So hopefully maybe that will help with that. This isn't something where I would send to one person. This is definitely more of the mass where it simply says schedule mass email. And that's what that means is I want to send it to the masses and not just one individual, because I could easily just go right into that person's contact to send them an email that way. Hopefully that helps with that. And let's see. I have not figured out a way to share. Like I know campaigns, we can share them via tokens. I have not figured out, because it's only one email, if I can share holidays or something like that. That would be wonderful, because then I wouldn't have to manually add them in, anybody's account. I have not figured that one out, but for sure, I can't even get like a website like I can with BombBomb. So I'll have to think about that, Tracy, and how I can show you guys other than just like the video of how, like what I'm sending. But honestly, it's when you go to send those mass emails or go in here and create that template. And you could come right here and see the newsletter. Because KV Core does have a newsletter. You can see all of mine, but here's theirs. I could clone it, and now it's mine. So now I could clone, and I can go in there, edit it, do whatever I want with it. Let's see. Maybe you can create a campaign for those. Because like when you're setting up an actual smart campaign, when you're setting up those triggers, it's like day one, or 5 minutes later, they get this, 24 hours later, they get this, day 3, day 7, day 14. So I have not been able to figure out on holidays because it doesn't let me pick a specific date, and holidays are not on the same date every year. So I've been manually just going into adding in the holiday. So one of my agents has to do is just go and do a search for holiday, and they'll be able to find whatever holiday is that they want to be able to send out and use it, schedule it right then and there. So right now that's my workaround, only because when you're setting up all the different triggers and stuff, I don't know how I could do that with the date. Well, that's the thing, is even if I didn't turn a date on, would an agent know what to do with it? They wouldn't. So to me, it's a lot easier just to kind of have these in as individual emails. So an agent can easily go in. And when I do this, I have a cheat sheet with all the dates through 2024. So they can just go in here and just mass schedule all of these emails for the rest of, for an entire year of content. That's been my workaround, but everybody knows I'll wake up at 3:00 with this idea like, oh, can I do this? And that's how I'm learning myself. Learn as we go. But you can't hurt anything by playing with all of these awesome tools, for sure. Let's see what else. Yeah, I don't think they've ever had like a massive like holiday stuff, but I agree. I don't know where their suggestion box is, but when I find it, I will post it, because there are so many awesome campaigns in here that you could, even if you did an open house, they have the open house campaign. So if you use the open house app, everybody is labeled, and now you can mass email or turn on the campaign that they already have. I think it's already set up to trigger. It's awesome. So that way, 4 hours after the open house, they're getting a text from you thanking you for joining. It was great meeting you, kind of thing. I absolutely love all of these smart campaigns and everything in there, and how you can clone and make them your own. But lots of good ideas. Of course, anybody, if you guys have questions, you can certainly put them in the thread below the video. Ask in the Tech and Tools group. We're all here to help you. There's, a few admins that definitely play, and hopefully maybe Anna will be able to schedule being able to join me in some of these. We've got Holly Fogel joining me on. We've got some good stuff that's coming down the line, especially in the new broker group. But definitely never hesitate, reach out. We are all here to support each other as we're on this new journey and learning all of the different tools and stuff like that. Next week, Bree and I are going over marketing for the holidays, not just emails, but just really cool ideas of all these fun things that you can do as we approach the holidays. Every day is a holiday, right? So don't miss next week. Definitely live in the creative group, because I can have her, stream everything seamlessly. Cross my fingers. And let's see, any last one? Tech and Tools. Yes, Tech and Tools Facebook group. For sure. There's no tech. I mean, these are streamed on my YouTube. They're always there. But we also have the MAXTECH and Tools group, where we're all there to kind of help each other. And that's where this was supposed to be streamed live. And then I got in Facebook trouble. So that's when I started going on to YouTube Live and all that. One more last question. Let's see. Let's see here. When you add a new campaign, there's an option under Smart Campaign specific data occurs. So let's see. When it's on the same. So yes. So for like Halloween is always on the 31st. Christmas. So for the holidays that are on the same date every year, I could. But at the same point, do I want to send the same email every year? Probably not. So that's, I don't know. And I could go in there, but I'd have to remember to edit the campaign. But if I'm going to do that, I can schedule it at the same time. So I'm still working my way around, but I love how your brains are thinking. So I want to hear more as you dive in to see if you guys figure something else out, because we're all here to learn together. And until next week in the creative group, Marketing for the Holidays with Bree and I. And next month is all about squeeze pages. I love squeeze pages. I post them weekly. We can use Meta, which is free, to post those. This is all for lead gen, and not only lead gen, but when you use squeeze pages, you're actually labeling people as they enter your system, which I guarantee you in a year from now, if you have everybody labeled as they enter your database, you are going to buy me lots of drinks at R4. You're going to thank me. You're going to be, oh, I'm so glad I listened to Heather and had everybody organized from day one, versus really seeing the power of the system and having to organize a year later. Nobody wants to do that. That's no fun. So next month, first Thursday in November, we're going over squeeze pages and how to schedule a month out using Meta to get to your Facebook business page. So that's what we have today. Hope you guys learned something new. Share with me below the video that I'll be posting. Let me know what you learned, what you've done. I want to see and hear everything you guys are doing, and we'll chat soon. Yes, Chris. Yes. I love it, though. I love hearing success stories, what you guys are taking away from this. So I will see you guys next week. Chat. Bye, guys.